cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
I have had a very long, busy day of watching and listening to people's heads explode.
Over
It's
the fact that
been-
certain people have been reinstated
Yeah.
onto X.
Yeah. And listening to different, commentary about that. And it has been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's been most interesting.
It
One
has been.
person. If you ever think that one person can't make a difference, there you go. Proof that they can.
Yep.
So, and instead of going into that, I decided to go down a little bit different path. And seasonal foods.
Yeah, you did.
And I had actually started this, I've done this for a couple of years. And it's like, there is still this thing that does not, I just can't get it to totally wrap my head around it.
What do you mean?
That's a figgy pudding. What the hell is a figgy pudding?
It's not even real. It's not even figs. It's not even figs.
And so within that, because we sing the song, We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
What is a figgy pudding?
And they had wanted a figgy pudding.
Mm-hmm. Bring us a figgy pudding. Now
Yes.
bring us a figgy pudding.
And that was their payment for the song.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a channel, it's called Townsends, that is very enjoyable. And this is the gentleman, we've talked about him before, and he, it's a historical reenactment. And he does recipes from 1700s, 1800s. We found out today that macaroni and cheese has been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, hundreds.
And that was way
And it's
cool.
wonderful.
Yeah. It was a baked macaroni and cheese. That is one of youngest kids' favorite foods ever.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a baked macaroni and cheese. That is the only legit macaroni and cheese.
And for those people who grew up and they may not know such a thing exists.
A baked macaroni and cheese?
Yeah. Yeah, because people in cities and stuff. Now, see, here in our region, that is a traditional food.
Yeah, I mean southern cooking, mac and cheese.
But a lot of the things that we eat here are, have very much historic roots. Mm-hmm. One of them is not a figgy pudding.
No, that's a northerner bullshit right there.
No. But anyhow, the gentleman who is there with Townsends, and I should have actually gotten his name there. I think his name may be John. And he has a video about this, the original Christmas dessert, and I think he called it a plum pudding. That's another name for it.
Okay, so it's got plums in it?
See, that was the thing.
So it's got no plums.
No.
It's got no figs.
Right. Because apparently, and those of y'all in the UK, feel free. We're doing this so that you can laugh with us and at us. We expect that.
Yeah.
It's like that what was considered the figs and the plums was any type of dried fruit.
That ain't a fig. A fig is just a separate fruit with wasp larvae in it.
But they're tasty.
Yeah.
And usually around here, if you mention fig, somebody's going to say Newton.
Well, yeah, a lot of people eat fig Newtons.
That's it. That is what most people, that's their association with a fig, period. That's an American thing.
Or the dried bagged figs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those. I do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But it is, he took this, and it was not a cheesecloth. It was almost like a linen. And they used suet. And I was explaining to kid earlier that suet is a fat, is a type of animal fat that is found near the kidneys.
Okay.
That's the only place. The rest of it is tallow, is considered tallow to the best of my knowledge. That's not something we can find at our local city of food.
What does it come off of? Is it the fat off the kidneys
I know
or
that
whatever?
you can. Well, I know that as far as sheep, and as far as cattle.
Okay.
I don't know that pork, because pork products can have a very strong taste to them. Now that would have been one of those that your oldest brother could have, pray for that kid. He's not been feeling well.
No.
But because he did have the culinary classes and stuff, and he looks at me, and youngest kid, and he just sort of rolls his eyes, and it's like, plebes. Why, yes, we are. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, it was like a linen cloth that he boiled, and he put all his ingredients and stuff together, and he tied it up in this, and you boil these things. And you did this sometimes weeks in advance of Christmas, and you hung it up.
Oh, God.
And one of the...
That's a long time to prepare something like that.
Absolutely. And the comments on some of these videos are really, really good. Comments on a lot of videos are really good, and you can learn stuff. And someone named Ray Gale 4198 had commented 2 years ago, and he had said, my late grandmother would make one of these for the entire family every Christmas here in Australia. It was huge. In her recipe, the pudding was cooked for nearly a full day, if I remember, in early November, then hung still in its cloth in a cool, dark place until Christmas Day, when it would get a quick 1 hour or so reboil. It was so rich with brandy and fruit, and so dense that it was a meal in itself, doused with fresh homemade custard, with more brandy drizzled over the cake. Divine.
That
does sound good. That sounds really good. And then the one I watched today, and I thought I was subscribed to this man's channel, but now we understand that the YouTube will unsubscribe you. I always check and see if your subscriptions are still valid, because they will go through and unsubscribe people's. Don't know why. It's because they're updating. Well, no, honestly.
Well, they're trying to get rid of bots as well.
Playing devil's advocate, there are billions of people. That is the second biggest website in the world.
Besides Google.
Yeah, Google's number one. YouTube's number two. That was from somebody I heard a couple of days ago. I'm not going to look and try to find a reference on that. But that's a lot of people. That's a lot of responsibility. They are trying to update things. They have to just basic maintenance. And so, shit falls through the cracks. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to fault them for that. I don't think that I'm not paranoid yet enough to think that they're going through and just randomly going, it's that mountain goth woman. We're going to eat her. No, they don't give a shit.
No, they really don't.
They really don't. But anyhow, this channel is called Food Wishes. And Chef John, and he is just brilliant. Oh my God, you have to be paying attention, because he has got a very quick, droll wit, and it's hilarious. And
I don't know who he is.
His video is the Queen's Christmas Pudding, and classic holiday dessert. And this was made 2 years ago.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And I was in here just howling because he was brilliant. Basically, what it is, one of these, he was talking about that any dessert over in Britain was a pudding, except pudding, and that's called custard.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? What the fuck is up with that? Pudding is pudding. Custard is custard.
Now, my grandmother...
Custard is really different than pudding.
My grandmother would make homemade boiled custard and custard pies and stuff.
But that's still different than
and
pudding.
It was just amazing. It is different, but But now, here what we do, people would make fruit cakes. And in a lot of ways, it's very similar.
But the homemade one is better.
Well, yeah.
The one that dude made was better.
And
looked better.
But now, what Chef John did, his recipe was very doable. It is. It's very doable. And I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I told Kid, I said, you know what this is? This is like stuffing only with fruit.
Yeah. You're right. It is like stuffing only with fruit. It's like a fruit version of stuffing.
Yeah. And he steamed his, and I think he steamed it for like 4 hours or something like that. I'm thinking I may try to do that one. But he used the dried apricots and dates, and he chopped those up, and he was talking about currants, and he was like, currants are like tiny raisins, and then he's like, I've also got raisins, which are like large currants.
Yeah.
And that type of humor, it's just like, wah! And it looked really good. Mm-hmm. And so as something different, and it's one of those, I'm thinking, damn, that's going to run my sugar up horribly.
But you still going to try to make it.
Extra insulin. Yes, because it was something that the prep time on it is lots, but the actual cook time and everything like that is not. And someone had comment in his comment section from 2 years ago who was Ian Slothy Rolfe. And he had written, here in the UK, pudding can be used to mean all kinds of things other than desserts, including some varieties of sausage. The rules are complex and, I believe, deliberately arcane just to confuse foreigners. It also provides Brits from different parts of the country a safe subject to have arguments about.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is wonderful. It's sometimes when you have some of the really good video hosts and stuff like that, it will inspire other people to follow suit.
It will. It really will. Because the host is, everything.
Yeah. Which is why it's like some of these people, if you being ugly and griping and bitching and you get comments that are ugly and griping and bitching, well, you started it first.
Yeah. Right.
So
why are you getting mad when they're throwing hands back?
But we just want to know if any of you all have ever fixed a plum pudding or a figgy pudding.
Yeah, have y'all? How'd y'all make it?
Like I said, my grandmother, our bunch was, you had a bunch of them that was teetotalers. And then you had a bunch of other ones that was alcoholics. And it's like once they married a teetotaler, that was it.
What's a teetotaler?
That means they didn't drink at all.
Oh.
None ever. Everybody was going to hell that if they had a beer. You know that. You've been around those people. And so I say as I sip my reduced calorie cranberry juice in Sprite Zero with a little bit of cranberry vodka tonight. Because it's holiday season.
Yeah.
And I know in some places what people will do is they'll fix a fruit cake and soak it in rum or brandy or something like that for a considerable amount of time before serving. I have never experienced one like that. I would love to try it.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that.
But Granny would fix and these were very labor intensive. And also the ingredients in this area, they have gotten so expensive. The candied fruits and the things that go in the fruit cakes, for most people, it's not even economically feasible. Which is sad because that's taking away part of our traditions.
It really is, but they're doing that on purpose. But
of course they are. So that's the reason as far as the tiny, big box store fruit cakes that are available. Mm-hmm. And let's face it, they ain't that many of us left, honey. None of us can sit around and eat a whole fruit cake.
I can't eat one bite. I can't eat a bite of fruit cake.
So
it's nasty. That's something that goes right in the trash when you get it.
No. That's an old trope, and I don't know. If anybody had dared throw away a piece of my grandmother's fruit cake, I probably would have slugged them. I really would have, because I saw the labor, and it was a labor of love for her that she put into fixing these. So as far as if anybody
Homemade
had,
is different than store-bought. Store-bought ones go right in the trash. Homemades are usually better.
if anybody had said anything bad about her fruitcake, like I said, that I would have taken that as an attack on her, and she probably would have too. Mm-hmm. Because somebody's cooking in this area, you don't. Even if you don't like it, you don't say nothing. You keep your mouth shut on that. You sit there and you talk when you go home and go, well, it wasn't exactly up to par, but because that can, you talk about hurt feelings. That is not something you want at the holidays. Don't insult people's cooking.
Yeah, have you seen those videos that they react to each other's cooking?
No, I try to avoid some of those.
They rate each other's cooking.
Like I said, that's like, Jerry Springer. It's just waiting to be a Jerry Springer episode.
I don't think they're allowed to be in the same room at the same time, so...
I can see that. No, I try to avoid the drama things. But the thought of being able to do... Everybody's always looking for new recipes, different things. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you're like, I'm just going to settle for the same thing that I've cooked for 50 years. And there's some people that if you don't fix whatever it is, they'll get upset. They're like, where is the whatever? And that's just like, for
I
what?
get upset if there's no deviled eggs or mac and cheese.
Or banana pudding. Mom was asking today, she's like, does he want a banana pudding? I said, of course he wants a banana pudding.
I hate that I didn't get
Well, and that's
more.
Okay. You got part of a banana pudding last time.
I did, but I felt like, was there stuff wasted?
I don't know. That's just, I don't know. That's somebody else's issue. But
that banana pudding is good. Same for the mac and cheese. I'm excited for food in general.
These are family traditional recipes. And I'm wondering how it is and why it is that the figgy pudding did not carry over in tradition.
Because for one, it looks bizarre. And who wants to eat something that vaguely reminds them of dirt and concrete?
Well, that's what I think the gentleman from Townsends had said. It sort of resembled a cannonball.
Yeah.
It just looked like it. It didn't taste like it. And then he made sort of like a caramel sauce to go over it.
I'm sure it tastes wonderful.
Right.
But looks are a part of the dish.
They
and who
are.
wants to eat something that looks like it will taste like the bottom of your foot?
I don't know. I'm not one of these people that does that thing. And somebody was talking about that the traditional way to serve a figgy pudding is to pour brandy or something over it and light it and carry it into the dining room, which would be darkened.
You put what? You pour what on it?
Brandy and light it. It's like a flambe type thing.
That would be fun to watch.
It would be. And they say that it's a spectacular presentation. And I'd say that would, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let us know your experiences. What's some of your favorite cuisine during this holiday season? And if you have made a plum pudding / figgy pudding.
Yes.
If you have gone a caroling and someone has given you figgy pudding.
What is it?
Let us know.
How was it?
in the comments. It's raisin bread. It's a raisin bread.
Yeah. If you like this video, that's it. I got that.
That's your last. No, that's. You were supposed to make final comments before.
I don't got final comments. Okay. I don't got final comments on this. All right.
Okay, if you've had experiences with
I figured we were done.
Supernatural.
And I'm like, okay, figgy pudding.
Encounters
fruitcake. I'm done.
Encounters with UFO aliens, cryptids, festive holiday traditions and or meals. You can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and I will put the links to food wishes and to Townsends, and so that you can enjoy their figgy pudding endeavors.
Yes. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Yes, I did it early.
It's okay. Hit the thumbs up. Those of you who do that, it's the thumbs up. I think it actually does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No joke. I'm kind of spacing out.
Okay. Anyhow, know that you're very, very loved. Try. Don't be afraid to try new things. If you try it and you don't like it, feed it to possums and try again.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would actually like to make us something for the holidays.
okay.
I would like to contribute something because I've been saying that, but nobody will let me.
Nobody ain't stopping you, honey. There's a whole kitchen right in there. It's been there for years.
Uh-huh.
Was,
But on what day should I make it?
it depends on what you're making. He's having problems with time management on the things.
Oh, very much.
So,
Days are
anyhow,
starting to blend in together. Time
has been really
is
weird
gone.
lately.
Mm-hmm.
It has truly, truly been weird. Anyhow, Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cut.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.